Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'd like to take a look at the new Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 1 brought to us by DC Comics. This is done by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. Now, there has been some reprints of this. I think this is the third reprint. I know there was an initial one which looked different than this, and I think they reprinted that one, and I'm pretty sure this is number 3, and they changed it. Different cover. Here's the spine. Different, like I say, different slip cover. Not slip cover, dust jacket. What am I saying? This retails for $75 when this came out. I think you can still get it. I think. Not really very fancy, just complete black. It does say New Teen Titans on here. It's embossed, but there's no color on there, so you'd have to look at it in the right light to even see it. They have had several volumes of these already. I think I've got the first 3. It starts with DC Comics Presents number 26, which came out in October 1980, and it ends, let's see, September 1982. So this is all Bronze Age stuff. This right here it's not the issue of DC Comics Presents number 26. I actually used to have that issue. Wish I still did. The cover of that had Superman and Green Lantern on it, I remember. And this was a special preview. It was the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. DC has had the Teen Titans around for some time. I believe way back to the Silver Age. But they redid them, revamped them for the 1980s, and they were the new Teen Titans. And I remember that it was a big deal at the time. DC promoted this book heavily, and a lot of people really got into it. It was almost like DC's version of the X-Men. A lot of people just got into it, one big soap opera. So, good story here, good introduction of the team. If you want this in issue format, you'll have to get DC Comics Presents number 26 if you want to own the single issue. And I have no idea how much that goes for in the collector's market. I'm not a collector. This is actual issue number 1. This is the key issue here of the new Teen Titans. Now, I remember as a teenager, I did get this. I missed it, and I was so mad with myself that I had missed the first issue. I missed the preview too. I think I started with number 2 or number 3. I don't remember. But issue 1 I had missed, and I remember buying it at my local comic store, and it was the very first time that I paid more than cover price for a comic. And I want to say I spent like $15 on it at the time, which was an absolute fortune. Absolute fortune for me as a teenager, especially in the 80s. That was not small change for me. But I did it, and glad I did it. I had it for a long time. Unfortunately, I've sold all my comics, so everything I own is now an omnibus, because I really just want to read the stories. I'm done collecting single books, single issues. I don't know what this goes for nowadays. So you tell me, did I get ripped off, or was that a good price for that? So because I don't know what it's going for now. But this is classic. I've always liked George Perez's art. Here's another key issue. Issue number 2. This is the first appearance of Deathstroke. And I thought Deathstroke was cool right from the beginning. And again, I don't think anyone realized at the time when Deathstroke was created that he would go on to become such a popular character as he has become. I'm looking forward to, I believe it's on the 18th of August, I think. The DC animated movie unit of Warner Brothers is putting out a Deathstroke DC animated movie, and I'm definitely going to pick up a copy of that as soon as I can. Here we go. We just continue on with the Teen Titans. The Justice League makes an appearance. We get to learn more about Raven and some of the issues that she's dealing with. Here we go. There's Trigon. Trigon the Terrible, yep. And I believe he was, or is, Raven's father. I've always been a George Perez fan. I like his artwork. Here's Dr. Light, Assault on Titan's Tower. We have a chart, not a chart, just like a plan of what's in Titan's Tower. And of course, back there, Starfire was sexy back then. She always has been, but I don't think she was quite as sexualized as she became in later years. But Starfire has become a very popular character in her own right over the years. I remember this issue too. I think I had this one. What I always thought was interesting about Deathstroke is that I didn't know at the time, but he was an older man. And I always thought that was interesting because, most of your superheroes and supervillains are younger to middle-aged folks, but Deathstroke was older, and I found that fascinating. It was different. It was well imagined. And like I said, this is a reprint. I do think it's still very easy to get, as far as I know. And it's worth getting. If you're a new Teen Titans fan, I certainly encourage you to pick up a copy. And like I said, you can get these for less than the cover price. If you know where to look, you just go online, and they've got places that can sell you these less than the retail price. Of course, if you have a local comic book store and you want to support your local comic book store, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a good idea too. Always support your local comic book store. This one I remember simply because I remember this silliness of Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. It was a Captain Carrot preview, and no, you do not have to go through Captain Carrot in this issue. So don't worry about that. I don't even know what happened to Captain Carrot. Hopefully he got wiped out in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Let's put it that way. It was such silliness. It was one of those parody comics that they did, and I'm not sure why. This is dumb. I remember the JLA, Just a Lot of Animals. There's Dr. Light again. They seem like they fought Dr. Light a lot. If you're interested in Dr. Light, he does play a rather savage part in the Identity Crisis graphic novel. That's not really one for the kids. Now we're getting into the miniseries Tales of the Titans. This was a 4-issue miniseries, and it started off with Cyborg. And of course, I don't think anyone realized that Cyborg would become as popular as he's become. Well, the Teen Titans, because here's Raven. The Teen Titans had their own cartoon series, and that made them famous with the kids, who may not have even read or seen any of these because it was before their time. Here we have number 3 of 4. This is the Changeling. Or Beast Boy, as he's sometimes known as, Beast Boy. And the last one is Starfire. So it's a nice collection. Let's see, how are the extras? Let's take a look at the extras. If I can get there. Just some pinups, really, of the team. I'm not even sure those were part of the extras. No, just some afterwards. A couple biographies of George Perez and Marv Wolfman. If you're looking for some extras on this, unfortunately, is very light on them. So don't go into it expecting a lot of extra stuff, because you're not going to get it. But it's a good book. I like the binding. Nice, good binding. I like the new Teen Titans, so I recommend them. If you already have one of the reprints before this, should you get this one? It's up to you. I think the binding is probably better, because I think the other ones may have had some gutter loss to them. And I think that's why they reprinted them, because they went with some better binding, or maybe it was just that popular. I mean, I'm not an expert, so definitely give it a pick up. It's a good read, and I appreciate you joining me on this little journey with the new Teen Titans. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.